On our morning show today from WRCO, Hillary Burns Kite is joining us by phone line, and we are just real near the Bev's Walk coming up here, which, Hillary, I understand this is the third annual event. How can that be?
Yeah. I'm excited that people have, wanted to come out the last couple of years, and the past 2 years, I think Passages has been kind of the lead on organizing it, and with the thought that when we were ready as a family to kind of take that over, then that would be passed along to us. So I'm kind of the main person for that now, and so it's been a good process to be a part of, and just kind of fun gathering ideas and putting the thought behind it, and working with other partners who worked with my mom, and just kind of remembering a way to remember her in the community and keep her name out there. And we're just really thankful for those who have shown interest and are still supporting.
I know many people remember your mom, Hillary, but for those that don't, maybe you could explain, the Grateful Scholarship you're working for and some of those topics.
Yeah, so my mom is Beverly Pittman Burns, and she worked for Passages for, I believe, 20 years or over 20 years, and was really, passionate about and had a heart for that ministry, for that work. I think for her, it probably really was, a vocation and a calling. It's a way that she lived out her faith and was a witness about her faith in that vocation. So there's a scholarship that was started in her memory, and that is being given out yearly to, as long as the funds are available, to a graduating high school senior from RCHS, and it's based on need, and with the preference of, so we're looking for those who are going into the field of social work or human services, public health, or education, to kind of encourage people, young people, to say that this is really a field of need, and always will be, and encourage people who are thinking of going into that and wanting to help and support them in that endeavor.
The third annual Bev's Walk is going on coming up Saturday, November 1st. And maybe you could explain, Hillary, the location's going to be a little different this year, isn't it?
Yeah. The past couple of years it's been at the park. It'll still be at Crosscup Park. It's been at the shelter that is right the closest to where the Rotary Lights path is. And we're feeling that was sort of tucked back in there. And so we wanted to bring it out and have it a little more visible. And then it would also be at the shelter that's next to the tree that was planted in honor of my mom. They planted that tree in a spot where she often ate lunch. And so it's at the park that's just right before you go over the walking path to get to the Rotary Lights. So that park that you pass on the right with, I think people know it for the red play equipment, and it's right across from the pool and stuff there, the Earl Anderson shelter.
And how long is the walk then?
We'll kick things off and have a welcome at 10, and then I think that we'll plan on starting the walk around 10:15 or 10:20, and so anyone who has gathered at that time will, start on the route together, and we'll be taking the walking path through the park to end up at the old community center, and then we'll go up Seminary Street to the courthouse, and then there's that bench that was placed there with my mom's name on it. And then from there, we would head back to Crosscup Park. And when people arrive at the beginning of the event, or when we get back from the main walk, people would be welcome to sign up for a shuttle that would take them out to the labyrinth that my family and friends have helped me to make in honor of my mom, and they could take kind of a more introspective, meditative time to walk on that labyrinth in small groups. We would have shuttle vehicles available to help facilitate that for the second portion of the walk time. So from around 11:30 to 12:30.
Why a labyrinth?
Why a labyrinth? My mom really felt called to labyrinths, to do labyrinths as a spiritual practice. A labyrinth is a type of a maze, and traditionally it only has one entry point. So, when you're sitting there and doing a maze, on a placemat or in an activity book, that you're starting at one point and trying to find the end. But in a labyrinth, you start and you work your way to the middle. It winds around to the middle. And then once you're in the middle, you can sit and meditate or have a time of prayer, reflecting on that walk, and then you work your way back out the same way that you came in. So it's a type of spiritual practice for contemplative prayer.
Well, that's awesome. We have a lot of people will do that, and you will have some items for purchase, I understand, Hillary.
Yeah, the last couple of years has been an online store, and we did have that this year also. So the time to submit those online orders has passed, but there will be some items, the hats and the long sleeve T-shirt, a few of those available for purchase at the walk. So it's kind of a commemorative item for people to have, but also a portion of those purchases does go towards the scholarship, the Grateful Scholarship Fund.
And I know your mom was passionate about passages, too. Will some of the money be earmarked for passages?
Yeah. Any single donation, $25 or above, $5 of that will go towards passages.
Well, very good. And I think it's for all ages, right? You can bring the family?
Yes. So there will be the storybook walk. We've selected a kid's book or story. I believe the title is Taco Falls Apart. It's a pretty fun book that I came across, and so the library is going to be having that on the storybook walk there on the Rotary Lights path. So that is something that families can do together. And then there will have some rock painting going on, and hopefully if it's not too cold and it works with the formula, that we were hoping to have some large bubbles to do, and maybe some other activities like that for families and for kids. And of course there's the play equipment there at the park. But people are welcome to paint rocks or write messages on rocks, however they want to decorate them, and to take them home with them, or they can place them around town at the park there. They can bring it out to the labyrinth and leave it at the labyrinth, or bring it over to the bench at the courthouse, leave it around the tree that is in memory of my mom there at the park. So however they want to decorate and leave or take with them, however is meaningful in that craft.
I understand there'll be food there for purchase as well?
Yeah, TKO barbecue truck will be there again, and they've been partnering as well as Christie's Sunnyside. She'll be there with serving coffee and some baked goods, and she's always been great about contributing to this event. My mom, I think she went to Christie's Sunnyside every single day, every day that she could, when she was in town, and getting a scone or getting the monster cookies. So Christy has been a great partner in that way.
That's awesome. And you talk about grateful scholarship. Your mom always talked about being grateful every time you talk to her. And I think about that every day. Sometimes, we need to think about being grateful, maybe just for being alive and another day of living, don't we?
Yeah, definitely. That phrase, that her response, it became her response. How are you doing today? I am grateful. And my dad does the same thing. It came from there was a particular week where my mom was asked to be the lay preacher at church. And I'm a pastor myself, and so I serve a congregation, so I'm preaching most weekends. And that particular weekend, one another, person that writes commentaries for preachers to study had that was an idea that they brought up. And then my mom just kind of adopted that, and to think of every day about being grateful. And when we're asked, how are you doing, that even if you're not realizing it in that moment, but there's always something to be grateful for. And so that kind of became her mantra or her response when asked, how are you doing today? And she would say, I am grateful. And then it kind of, helps you to pause and think about what you're grateful for, but then also is encouraging for the person that you're interacting with.
That's great. I think about your mom often, too, when we talk of passages. And, of course, they were on our morning show a lot through the years, and we had some fundraisers here on the radio for her. But I know one of her things was believing every victim, wasn't it?
Yes. Yeah. So when they were, starting to think about this walk and creating it and what to call it, then that's what they settled on, that, those letters that would spell out that phrase, believing every victim, then, of course, is my mom's name, or what she was more commonly known for as being Bev. And so that just seemed to be fitting.
Well, that's awesome. Anything else you want to add today, Hillary?
I hope that people feel, are able to make some time and come out to the walk on the 1st. I'm excited to see people there and to hear stories and to be able to walk with people together and whatever they need to walk out that day. So I hope that we can come together and gather in that and being grateful for the community that we have around us.
That's from 10 until 12:30 that day. And if someone can only make a portion of it, maybe they can't go the full distance or they can't go to the labyrinth, I'm sure that's okay too, isn't it?
Oh, definitely. Yeah. Come out for whatever time that is available to you. We'd love to see you.